I just pulled off the impossible. I secured Dior's Ambre Nuit for 30% off. And considering how Dior has played us by shrinking their bottle sizes without lowering their prices, I think that's a big win. Come back and I'll tell you how I did that and why you should add this one to your collection, but you gotta come back. Come back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video of Smell Good with Jenna. I'm of course Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're into fragrance reviews, layering combos, and just smelling like you got your life put together, you know what you gotta do. Stay blessed, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So we're talking about Dior's Ambre Nuit. It's funny because typically on Mondays, I drop a top 8 video, but I decided to drop a review on YSL Babycat. So after this video, do yourself a favor and do me a favor and make sure you watch that review after this one if you haven't already. But it's funny because these are fragrances from YSL and Dior's Privée lines, and I was able to secure both of them for 30% off. So all that means is I'm the GOAT and you gotta shop with your girl. That's all that means. No, but in all seriousness, like what I said, we're talking about Ambre Nuit. This was a fragrance that I said I would pick up, would be my second purchase from the Privée line after I purchased Vanilla Dior Ambre last year. And the sales rep that I dealt with there was nice enough to create me a sample, and I was intrigued by it. Wasn't wow, but I was definitely intrigued by it. But I said that would be my second purchase, which don't do it. If you're not completely wowed by a fragrance, don't do that. That's not smart. But a couple of times, me and my best friend, we would go to Dior, and she purchased a couple of fragrances from this year from Dior, and we were able to get a whole bunch of samples, and I got another sample of Ambre Nuit, but this time the Spirit one, and I went back and forth. I knew I was going to purchase it this year around August or so because to prepare for my fall fragrances and what have you, and I went back and forth on which one I would prefer the most. I decided to go with the OG one just because that captured me first, and I didn't really smell too much of a difference. I'd have to go and play with it later on and see if it's worth getting. But we wound up going to a sales rep that we've been going to. Well, my best friend goes to her pretty often, but you know, I get the love as well, and she hooks it up, and that's how I was able to get this one for 30% off. And when I say, I don't know if I mentioned Bloomingdales, but we go to Bloomingdales, and Dior has their boutique there, so that's how I'm able to get a discount. And so she stacked them on, and we were able to get this for 30. I got this, and she got Boy's Talisman, I believe. I can't remember, but we were able to get this for 30% off, which I think that's a steal, just for the simple fact that Dior kind of played us. Not kind of, but did play us. You sell the 4.2 ounces for $330, got rid of that sizing, and then give us 3.4 for the same exact price. That's very unethical and not cool. And this is why I always say in my videos, make sure if you're gonna get a fragrance, see if you can get it on discount, because these companies have no problem upping the price on us or giving us less product or making it weak, whatever the case might be. So if you can always get a discount with a fragrance, make sure you do that. But with that said, I was able to secure this, and when I actually unboxed this and wore this out into the wild as opposed to just testing it on my wrist, man, I was smitten. That's the best word that I can use for this. This is sensual, romantic, captivating. Where has this been all my life? That's all I can say. Okay, so let's jump into the notes. Ambre Nuit keeps this really simple. There's only two, Amber and Rose. I know that's for the 2018 reformulation. As I was preparing for this review, I saw in the 2009 one, you had some notes of grapefruit, maybe even pink pepper, I believe. So I don't know if they kept those notes here and they're just mentioning Amber and Rose. I don't know, but these are definitely the stars of the show when it comes to notes. The amber in here is absolutely beautiful. It's warm, it's spicy, it's sensual, it's mysterious, and then as it dries down, you get that rose that's soft and delicate but not too floral, just blends beautifully together. And then as it continues to dry down, I get this sweetness, this almost creamy sweetness, if you will, that blends everything together perfectly. It's just, like I said, sensual, romantic. It smells expensive, and we can get into who's it for and when is it the time to rock this one. I think this is perfectly unisex. I will say if it lead any type of way, I would say maybe a little feminine just because of the rose note, but fellas, you know you're in your rose bag these days, so don't be afraid when you hear that there's rose in it, because the amber and rose is just completely attractive. This is the type of fragrance you're wearing in all types of seasons, maybe not in the summertime, but definitely fall, winter, and the early parts of the spring where it's still cool. If it's still cold out, not even just cool, you're wearing this. This is for special occasions only. I said this in one of my videos, those top 8 videos. I think it's my top 8 date fall fragrances, a mouthful. But in that video, I had mentioned Ambre Nuit reminds me of you're going out to a really upscale place for a date. You're taking someone out. Fellas, this is more so for you. You're taking a lady out or whoever, and you're showing that money isn't an option, but you're not coming off as a show-off or a snob. It's just, listen, this is what it is. Money is no option, but I'm still being romantic and showing you that I care. That's exactly what Ambre Nuit reminds me of. And ladies, this just reminds me for us that I'm in my soft girl era. You know, I'm not a snob, and not everything is about money, but I do deserve the finer things in life, and you gotta come correct when you're taking me out. That's exactly what this reminds me of. You're wearing this for special occasions, anniversaries, special events. Beautiful type of fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can't get enough of it. It's really just captivating. And in regards to the longevity, I'm just rambling at this point, but in regards to the longevity and the performance of this, I think this did pretty well. It's really moderate. I don't think it's a beast mode fragrance, but like I said, I think this is a very romantic fragrance, so I don't expect this one to be loud, especially if you're going on a date and wearing this. I think that works perfectly. I think it's just all about aura as opposed to loudness. You're gonna get mileage out of this one. I definitely smelled this on my skin for a good portion of the day and felt it left a trail, but again, I don't think it's too much of a beast where it'll be overpowering. I think it's just perfect for what it is. Moderate, soft, but still gives pretty good longevity. Okay, so let's jump into the layering combo. As always, I use an unscented soap to start out the combos. I didn't do too many combos this time around, but I started with Tree Hut's Moroccan Rose Foaming Gel Wash and the matching Shea Sugar Shrub. I'm not taking it out. You guys know what it is. Then I used from Victoria's Secret their Amber Romance Lotion. I'm mad, although happy that I rediscovered this, but this one smells absolutely beautiful. It's funny, the name is fitting, Amber Romance, because I keep saying Ambre Nuit is very romantic and sensual, so that paired beautifully together, not doing too much. But in the other combo, we did the same thing. Moroccan Rose Foaming Gel Wash, and then after that, out of the shower, I use Skin Potions' Besame Mucho Triple Butter Body Butter. One of my favorite body butters in my collection. I think this is so beautiful and complex and rich. It has notes of saffron, jasmine, rose, amber, sandalwood, hazelnut. It's just really complex and different. Definitely creates this whole different layers when it comes to my rose fragrances. So I always use that in a rose forward combo. And then I paired it with their Kama Sutra Crystal Revitalizing Body Oil, just again get that rose note going. And then what I paired with Ambre Nuit was Matiere, excuse me, I'm over here stuttering, Matiere. It was so good that it had me lost for words. Matiere Premier's Radical Rose. This is one of my favorite roses in my collection. It's just so spicy and gorgeous, this fragrance. So paired obviously with Ambre Nuit and the spiciness of the amber, and then obviously the rose made this a beautiful, romantic, captivating combo. Loved it. Would I recommend Dior's Ambre Nuit? 1000%. But I will say, if you can find it like I was able to at a boutique in Bloomingdales, for example, for a discount, do that. Because I always say I don't think a fragrance is ever worth the full retail price, but also for the fact, like I said, I think Dior did us dirty by, selling 4.2 ounces for $330, but then get rid of that and then come out with 3.4 ounces for the same price. That's very disappointing. I think very unethical, but that's just me. But I definitely think Ambre Nuit is definitely worth adding to your collection, especially if you're into amber and rose type of scents. This is the one. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have Ambre Nuit in your collection, or if you have, maybe you don't have the reformulated fragrance that I have. Maybe you have the OG. Let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay blessed, and always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.